Welcome to Rick's Raw review of Rego and Seago of the GOALZERO trifecta. Who are you? Cam. And Mr. B. Okay, so here's what we got. We've got the GOALZERO Alta 50, the GOALZERO Yeti 500, and the GOALZERO Nomad 100. This is the solar panel, this is the cooler, and that, dude. And I will preface to say that GOALZERO did send us the fridge, the power station, and the solar panel for our Colorado trip. And we've, so much so that we've actually purchased a whole bunch of more products from them with our own money. The crush lights and a whole bunch of other different miscellaneous odds and ends. Not much to talk about with the crush lights. They're super cool, little built-in solar panel. Red light indicates that, oh my goodness, you're a brown man. Red light indicates it's charging, whether you charge it through USB or solar. And they have white ones, and then they have the ones that have like the multiple colors, like these that have RGB built in. So very cool. We got like 4 or 5 of them. Highly recommend. Lots of runtime, especially if you run on a low power setting, just as like ambient camp lighting. Added a little flavor. All right, so that's the GOALZERO crush light. Goes up, basically just folds pretty much flat when it's for transport, and then you pop it out, and you got some integrated loops here, Reagan. As well as Reagan. What happened to you?
I just went down.
Did you lean back?
Yeah.
Come on, don't do that, Reggie. Come on. Up. You okay?
Yeah.
My goodness, don't lean back like that though, okay? All right, right there. You good?
Yeah.
I guess that's why you need a click chair. Oh, that's your chair. Uh-oh. So that you don't fall over. Dude, what are you doing? Come on, man. What are you doing right now? Okay, can we continue? All I wanted to show was one other thing on the crush light that the thing pops off. So if you want to loop it on something, all you have to do is like this, and then just pop the little tabs back in. 1 and 2. Bam. If you can't do this, right? It's like a fixed loop.
Daddy, I'm getting closer.
Oh my goodness. You're getting closer. Okay. All right, so that's the crush light. Now, the fridge. Dude. The fridge. Not the walkie-talkie, rocky-talkie. The fridge. Okay. This is the Alta 50. It is like a 56-quart fridge, freezer. You can run it as both. Hi. Yes, wonderful. Okay. I'll let you hold that, but you have to back up, okay?
Okay.
Can you pop up, please?
Yeah.
Come on. Here.
Daddy.
It's okay. Here.
I just want to get closer.
You want to get closer?
Yeah.
You're not close enough?
No.
I can touch you. Okay, oh my goodness. All right, well, the fridge is over there. It's 56 quarts. It's beautiful. And that's the end of this review. No. Okay, so this is the GOALZERO Alta 50, about 56 quarts, I believe. It comes with this insulated cover built into it. We added some extra insulation just because we're kind of retentive like that. It could look better that where we just add if we have the ability to, and there's a little bit of space in here, so we added it, kind of some leftover insulation from a project. Okay, guys, scooch. Come on. Reggie, scooch, please.
Okay.
Please scooch. So unzip.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. What is happening right now? Okay. So unzip both sides. And we did not clean this. We just took it to the Rockies, 2-week overlanding trip. Got our solar panel, GOALZERO. Picking up almost nothing, but still something to help recharge and run the, let's see, oh, we're not plugged in. There we go. And we did not clean it in any way. This is how it came back in its condition. It's got, you know, a couple little bumps and bruises on it because we kept it in the truck while we wheeled Red Cone and Mosquito Pass, excuse me, reverse, and all those different trails. So we definitely bounced it around. It bebopped all over the flated. Reagan, please back up. It's got charging port, power port on both sides. So you literally can run it in your truck bed either way you want. Driver to passenger, passenger to driver, left side, right side, whatever. It's got literally charging ports on both sides. Exhaust vents here, here, and I believe if I could get around the army and jungle here, there might be one in the back. Yep, right here. And they're all baked in to the cover. So you have vents right there. The cover is really awesome because it has these integrated loops. And so what we did was when we were running it in the back of the dyno truck, we used these loops to run the power cord loop to charging station, so that the power cord wasn't on the ground, and whenever we moved the cooler, it wasn't running over the power cord and XYZ. Okay, also into the insulated cover, 2 pockets, which came in super handy. We got the AC charging block there, some gear ties, some little things, some carabiner clips in that one. And then in this guy, more cords here. It's pretty full. I'll take that. We'll open these 2 latches, which are really nice, well built. And by the way, this looks like junk because we did this. This thing is actually really, really nice, and I'm doing a disservice. Oh, look, I put one up there. I put my last piece up there. You can see how nice this thing is, minus the foamy. I have to call this the official unboxing of the GOALZERO Alta 50 nonsense that Dad put on because he's crazy, man. So clips are undone, and I'll show you what's inside real quick. What we have in here, just leftovers from our Colorado trip. We have the maybe 20 waters, 4 or 5 Gatorades, a couple cans, and we took out the basket from this side just to add a little bit extra space. This is a single zone fridge or freezer. We just overland about 2 weeks with it. We just restocked every few days on some lunch meat and hot dogs and things, and it worked out really well. And I thought maybe there would be some damage from cans and stuff rattling around in here without the basket to protect it, and just a little bit of dirt, but no damage that I can see.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have water. You want me to open it for you?
Yeah.
All right, let me put this on.
It's really big.
Yes. I'll have a sip first.
Oh, you take.
There you go.
take turns.
I take turns. Yep, I had a sip and you got a sip. So, what else can we talk about this fridge? We have a couple other electric fridges.
Daddy, how you open this? Oh.
This is hands down the most efficient fridge that we have, and that I believe more efficient than a couple buddies of ours fridges as well from other companies. This fridge, when it's cooled down to, we ran it around 35, it will stay in between 35 and kind of 39 degrees.
Daddy, like this?
No, ready, tidy to close it. Yep. No. Yeah. Good. Good. There you go. Good job. Okay.
Daddy,
This thing.
please hold it.
No, no.
Oh,
Oh
sorry.
my goodness, it's okay. Okay, Reggie. Hi. I gotta talk about the fridge, okay? Subscribe for more of this. We went over, okay, so the efficiency. So this fridge, when it's cooled down to 35 is what we had it set at, 35, 36. It would stay between 35 and 40 degrees. I only saw 41, I think maybe once or twice when it was sitting out for a while. We were running in eco mode. So if we run it in regular mode, it'll keep it a little tighter window. But eco mode will keep it between, 4 or 5 degrees of your target temperature. This thing, once it was cooled down, would only use about 40 to 45 watts. And it would only use it for like a minute, a couple minutes, shut off for a while, a couple minutes, shut off for a while, a couple minutes, shut off for a while. Some of our other coolers, especially when you start jam packing stuff along the exhaust vents and stuff, they just start heating up so much. And you can feel there's some heat coming from here for sure. But we literally had this thing jammed in to the truck with stuff like that and stuff like this with like 2 inches of space between. And as you can see, we cut some holes in the deflated windows just so the cooler could breathe. But that wasn't for this cooler. That was for one of our other coolers that overheated so many times because it didn't have any airflow. So we cut the holes in and we ran this cooler for this trip. And we were very, very pleased with it. So if we plug this thing in, so our basically our daily setup was, hey, what you doing? Oh. What's up, guys? If you find this video entertaining in any way, go ahead and mash that Chuck Norris button for us. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, pop up. Go play with Cece, come on. He's coming for you. Okay, Reggie, get over there, man, go play. You guys, dude.
Gigi, go hide. I can't really tell. Go hide. Okay.
Go hide. So, here was the setup. First thing in the morning, 9:30, unplug it from the Yeti, plug this into the truck, runs off the truck all day. This charges inside the truck. Then when we got back from the trails, got back to camp, we would take... And then when we got back to camp at like 5:36, we would plug, when we shut off the truck, we'd plug this back into the Yeti, which had been charging inside the truck during the day. This thing is built like an absolute tank. We bounced it, it literally sat in the back of the truck, getting bebopped over all the boulders and branches and everything else. Back, hard back. You got it. What's up, guys? If you haven't already, definitely check out the links in the description below. We've got lots of cool discount links, discount codes for a lot of awesome companies. I'll leave you to the rest of this video, guys, and thanks for watching. It is an absolute tank. The seal on this thing is like better than my fridge seal. You can see it's super duper plush and squishy there. It's not just like an O-ring, it's actually a really nice seal, and you can see if I let it go, that sound is just, it's very satisfying. And then the latches work really well, super easy to use, one hand, even have a spot for a little lock if you wanted to lock it up. We are very anal retentive, so we checked all the screws all around this entire thing. I think on the bottom there was one that was like not fully snug, but there was pretty much everything was nice and snug. So that's, in our opinion, kind of a testament to build quality, is how snug everything is. And if everything's, half the bolts are stripped, you know, you get what you pay for. So right now, this thing is only, we just took it out of the truck, and we're only maybe 15 minutes from the house. So it was sitting at about 100 degrees when we first turned it on. It's at 52 now, and it is pulling a maximum wattage, because it's not in eco mode, of 81 watts. So that is basically, I think the most we've seen is maybe, I want to say 84, but that might have been, yeah, I think maybe 84 was the most, but low 80s is basically the most you're going to see. So because of that, you can run it in the car, in the truck, off your DC cigarette port, no problem. We have another fridge where we tried to do that, and it was pushing 110, 120. It would trip the breaker, or it blew one of the fuses. It melted a fuse, actually. So really good that this thing doesn't use that much energy. When this is cooled down to how we had it, around 35, 36 degrees, it only uses about 40 watts of energy. So super efficient, and it kicks on and kicks off as needed, but literally only burned half of this 500 watt power bank for, let's do the math. We'll call it 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. 12 plus 4 is 16. So 16 hours of running off of the power bank, and it only used about half of it. So literally could run for, you know, almost a whole nother day off of just one charge on that. If you get a bigger power station, you're fine. Yeti 700, 1000. Handles, I like how they retract back in. Hear that? They're very flush mounted. They don't pop out too much. But I like how they don't stick out like this permanently, because they would take up a lot of extra space. Screen. The screen, even behind this plastic protective thing, is really easy to see, really easy to use, and the buttons are hard and you can actually feel them. So you could probably do this in the dark. You got your Bluetooth button, your light button, your leaf button. This is for eco and non-eco, regular mode, Fahrenheit, Celsius, and then this guy, I don't even know what this guy does. Oh, okay, this is your low voltage protection. So basically we have it set to medium. So if you're running it off the truck and you don't want the battery in the truck to die, set this to high, so it's high protection for your battery in your car. If you're running it off of like a power station, you can just kind of set it to low and just run that thing down to 0%. If you're looking for a portable fridge, an electric fridge, there's all sorts of different brands out there, all sorts of different makes and models. And the first thing, in my opinion, is you gotta look at your setup, right? How much room do you have? Where are you gonna put this thing? For us, and I'm sure I'll have a video I can link in here. I don't wanna have to lift up and put it back in here. For us, we ran our fridge right here on top of our deck system, underneath our flated, and we were actually able to, and we had it facing us, so we could just pop the latches, open it up, bam. We were actually able to jam the Yeti 500 on top of the fridge. Fridge is plugged in, and we're getting about 12 watts in. Not much, but better than 0. Which was super cool because it didn't take up space somewhere else, right? There was just this little bit of void here. We just jammed it up there, good to go. So space is really, you know, a factor. We have a really long cooler, about 80 quart. It goes, if it goes this way, it takes up the whole thing. So we run it long ways. But then you kind of have to jump into the truck, unlatch both sides, you know, unlatch this side. If you want to get into this section, you want to get into the back section, it's a 2-zone. You have to kind of get in the truck basically. So for us, this thing sits right there and we just pop it open and we can reach it all from without having to get into the truck bed. Now, there are lots of different makes and models. Like I said, GOALZERO sent us this and we could not be happier. Would we buy this with our own money? 100%. Yes, it is expensive, but you get what you pay for. We have some cheaper electric fridges that are good, but they eat power. They eat it. One of the cons of this one, I guess, is that it doesn't have an external battery to plug in somewhere to run kind of on its own. But honestly, if it came down to it, I would probably rather have it this way because we don't have a big void there, right? Where the battery is going to go. This thing is insulated, and we added more insulation, but this thing is, the actual fridge is insulated, especially with this cover on it, like an igloo. Like I said, once it gets down to temperature, you can't knock this thing off of its temperature. It is so efficient. It is so insulated. So very, very happy with it. Some cons, it's very expensive. But if we were in the market, this is a good size for us, even as a family of 5. But we went on this trip as a family of 3. We had more than enough space for tons of drinks, food, everything we could need in here. Would I have liked it maybe a couple quarts bigger, maybe a 60 quart? But you're able to, you just kind of take a couple bottles of water out and you're good to go. Put them on the side, and then as soon as you burn through a couple bottles, throw a couple extras from the truck bed or wherever in here, and they'll get cold super fast because it's not so big inside. It's able to cool down really quickly. Oh, and also, unlike some other fridges, these this guy and this guy connects through Bluetooth, so it's not like you require a Wi-Fi connection like some other fridges we have, where basically if we're not under the same Wi-Fi umbrella, we're not gonna be able to connect. Bluetooth, and you can run off of Wi-Fi, either one. But we always just did through Bluetooth, so when we're in the truck, we could connect and check on the fridge, check on the power station in the truck, or at camp, or wherever else. So one of the cons that we have is the Bluetooth app. So let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I don't know if it's the app or if it's just the fridge, but we have had to occasionally turn off, unplug, disconnect the fridge from the app completely. And then, okay, there's connecting now. And then kind of repair it, almost like, you gotta resync your car to your phone. So there we go. So it's 50 degrees, which is what it says in the app. And it's not in eco mode, and it's on battery protection medium. And you can control it all here. My set temperature is 23 degrees now. That's too low. I'm gonna set it back to 35 on the app, and it's controlling there. Every once in a while, it'll lose connectivity. So what I mean is, like, we're driving down the road, and I wanna check on the fridge. I'd say maybe 70% of the time it would find it, no problem. The other 30%, I would have to either close the app or disconnect it and reconnect it. Probably a software thing, probably something that's not gonna, be an issue in the future, but just one thing that I will mention, full honesty, Rick's Raw Review, raw and uncut, we're giving it to you, how we had it and how we dealt with it. We did have 2 error codes pop up. F1 error code, I think it is because of the way we have, I think F1 is a insufficient voltage current. So I ran DC power from one of the fuses in the fuse box to, see if I can get it inside of the bed here. And it's a little bit of a disaster, but let's see if I can. And I've got 3 cigarette ports there plugged in, and I've got one running to this inverter. I got one running to this LED strip up top, and then one running to the fridge. So when all 3 of those things are on, it is drawing quite a bit of power. And so I think we had an issue where we were just kind of asking too much of the circuit. And so the fridge was like, oh, you know, we can't get what we need off the circuit because of all the things you have on there. So, hey.
Hi.
You good?
Look what we found. So we found this tree that had all these beans in there.
Oh. Whoa. That's like a plantain, or like a.
I know.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, what else is on? What's happening to you? Are you caught? Are you trapped? Why did Mom put you in shorties?
I know.
Oh, all right, let's cut this off for a second. All right, so the bottom line, love you, on the fridge is definitely a hit, and we are very impressed with it. And the form factor, the size is really, really good, because we can throw it in the truck bed without an issue under the flated topper, or we can throw it in the back seat, and it fits in there just fine and doesn't flop around. It's good width, good length to be stable in the back seat, as well as in the back of the truck as well. So you have options. Now, moving on to the Yeti 500 power station. So here we go. This is I believe their smallest. Maybe they have a Yeti 300, I think. But we are super impressed with this thing. Going back to the app connectivity issue that we had with the fridge, we did not have, I just had a bug fly at my nose, any issues with this connecting to the app at all. So it has its own like dust water cover here. It's not waterproof, obviously, but water resistant. And this was really nice because we would leave this thing out, like I said, we would leave it on top of the fridge, and we would leave the back of the flated open. And so it rained every single day, basically, at some point. And knowing that the rain was kind of just trickling off of this versus, let me show you another one we have. When this, with the exception of the DC port here, when this is left out in the rain, all the plugs are exposed to the elements, right? This one, everything, especially when you're not running the cigarette and you're running something like a USB or something, this thing's able to close even more. Way more weatherproof than this. This is like waiting for Explosion City, waiting for electrocution. Also, the way the ports are built on the back, even has on the back, it has, this is your AC, this is your fuse reset. Also nice little dust cover, little weather cover there. And also the way that this one charges for solar is this 8mm DC, way more stable, way more stable. Look what I had to do to the back of this. Now mind you, we like the EcoFlow. It has its pros for sure, but a con is, look at what we had to do to keep everything inserted. All these connections, this guy, whatever this thing's called, this orange, whatever, round to square, is
green to white technology is going to happen.
Super loose, so it just falls out. You don't even, like, you hit a bump, boom, pops out. So we had to tape it all up in there and then have everything running like that, because it would just pop out. Here, the 8mm DC, this thing is so much more secure when it clicks in, way more secure than this when you're running off solar. So huge pro here, huge con for the EcoFlow in that regard. So I'm not going to go over all the specs on this because it's all online, I'm sure, but just some things that some experiences we had with it. Very, very, very robust. I mean, listen to that. Solid sounding, good rubber feet on the bottom. I don't know how they're secured, but this thing, we pushed and prodded and everything and never popped any of these out. Size vent here, and what's really good is almost like shingles on your house. They're not open, fully open to the elements. They are cascading down, so water will run off as opposed to going in on both sides. Big beefy Allens up here. We checked all the bolts on this. Everything was nice and snug. It has 2 AC plugs, 2 quick charge USB-A's, 1 quick charge 30 watt USB-C, 100 watt USB-C. So this right here is really good for like your drone batteries and stuff like that. You can run off the 100 watt and they charge much quicker. There's a light, we never used it. Info, tons of different notifications you can get with this to your phone. You can literally have this thing notify you if there's a rainbow outside. It's absolutely insane how many things it can notify you of. Low battery, super low battery, okay, you're gonna die, okay, I'm dead, basically. From that to, we had it notifying us when our solar input would no longer be plugged in. So that would be like an alarm, hey, you know, the solar panel is unplugged, or hey, you know, there's no sun out, so it notifies us. We had to turn some of the notifications off because it just became too much. But there's more information than you could ever need available from this. Super small footprint, super strong. Oh, best part of this,
Hi, Daddy.
hi Reggie, is this thing was brand new like a week before our trip, which was like 3 weeks ago. Look at the scuffs here.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah, look at the scuffs there. Look at the scuffs here. Why is it all scuffed up like that, Reggie?
I know.
Look at this. Because it flew out of the back of our truck. When we mashed the gas, we probably hit about 55 on a dirt road, and this thing went flying out the back of our truck, hit the ground, tumbled, rolled down the street, down the trail, and it was like a dirt, like a, man, this thing is falling over every 2 seconds. Like a hard dirt road, and nothing's wrong with it. Literally some scuffs. We're just kind of like this little thing kind of popped up a little bit. We just pushed it back down and everything is good. Still works absolutely perfect. So super robust, because I cannot say that about this, because this is kind of chintzy plastic. Yeah, this much more robust for sure. Bluetooth app works perfectly every single time. I'll show you that real quick. We connect to the Yeti 500. Here we go. This is the app for that. And you can turn, you know, all your things on here, and you can also adjust your charging, like how much you want to preserve in the tank. If you want to run it down to 0, that's what we have it. If you want to run it down to only 2%, yeah, we'll probably change that now that perfect balance between performance and battery saver. Preserve your GOALZERO device battery. Well, we want performance, so we go hard in the paint, so that's where we're going to keep it. GOALZERO says you can run this thing every single day for 10 years, so I mean, we're going to test that. I guess we'll do a 10-year review at some point.
2,000 years later.
So there's the app. There's tons of different things you can see in some of the notifications. Battery temp high. 22 days ago, we had it literally sitting in there, jam-packed with furniture, and not furniture, but all of our gear and stuff. It had no room to breathe, so it was letting us know it was hot. Okay, so that's that. What else do we have? Cons. Cons on the Yeti 500 are pretty short list. But if you leave one of these ports on, so if I run, let's see, if I turn on the AC port, let's see our output went up to 69. Even though there's nothing plugged in here, I turn it off, goes down to 63. So about 6 watts, 5-6 watts of power is being drained, even though nothing's plugged in here. So that was kind of, it doesn't happen on the EcoFlow. So I don't know if that's just, maybe the EcoFlow just doesn't tell us that it's draining power or what. But it's obvious that it uses power when you just leave the port on. Okay, another con, the car charger can be, oh my goodness gracious. You got a, what do you got, a mud pie? What in the world is that? You're the coolest little girl in the world. Reggie, you're the second coolest little girl in the world, because you had to jump on the table to take your boots off because you got a little sand on your shoe. So, second coolest. The car charger that comes with this can be a little finicky. So let me grab it. It's in this bag.
Now look at it.
Where's Bear?
Mr. Bear!
All right, so we got these off Amazon. They're like 20 bucks, 25 bucks, super duper awesome little bags. It's like Zoltan in here.
Zoltan! Zoltan! Zoltan!
Okay, good. And we got a good boy, Mr. Abe. And we got 20 and 30 foot extensions for the solar. Here is the car charger. This is the GOALZERO car charger. It has a 5 watt and a 10 amp, excuse me. Now, we've had some finicky issues with this where sometimes it'll charge at 40 watts, 45, 50 watts, and other times it'll charge at 100, 110 watts. I'm not 100% sure why, because it's not like we were switching this left and right. It was still on 10 amps. So why it went down to 40 watts, I don't know. Maybe it was just an issue with the power delivery or how much we had power inside the truck, because we were running, I don't know, we were running the fridge, charging the Yeti 500, we were charging my phone, we were charging my wife's phone, we were charging the iPad, we were running charging batteries for the 360 camera for GoPro. So maybe the thing was just sensing, hey, you know, battery overload, I don't know. But just something that I wanted to mention because it was kind of odd that it was switching between like half power and full power.
You got a unicorn on your truck.
Yeah, there is a unicorn on my truck. What other cons do we have?
Daddy,
None.
how do you get that pair?
Little bag to store it in. Fits in there nicely.
Daddy, how
And you can store a whole bunch of extra cords. Obviously this, you know, flap will close. And that is in our Amazon store. This one was really, really good for this trip, 100%. We were able to park the truck every day around 5:30, 6 o'clock and run the fridge from around 5:30, 6 p.m. until 9:30, 10 in the morning the next day off just this Yeti 500 for, you know, however many hours that is. And we would still have about half the battery left in the 500, so in the Yeti. So we would put it on the charge and it would charge in the car throughout the day, charge up to 100, and then later in the day we would do the same thing, unplug it and plug the fridge into the power station. All right, to finish this up, we have GOALZERO. Look at that.
Whoa.
Solar. Right?
Daddy.
Yes. Reggie, hold the camera.
Okay.
Just lay it out like this.
Ooh.
And then come around this side, Reggie. Come around. Reagan, I didn't say sit down on the ground. What in the world are you doing? Fold these little legs out. Little kickstands. All three. There you go. And point it at the sun and you're good to go. Very easy, very simple to set up and to close. You just lift it up. They fold in on their own. Okay, and then Reagan. Fold it in. There's no accordion. There's no nonsense. And you just got a big laptop sitting right there, good to go. Now, on the back side, you have this big, large zippered pouch, which has 2 fixed plugs already. It's a USB female, and you plug. We plugged like a double USB-C in there, and then here's your solar, which is built in as well, DC 8mm. And there's so much space back here for you to put all sorts of charging cables. This little waterproof pouch.
Oh, I remember that.
Mountain bonded, really good stuff. More cables, and this is definitely weatherproof for sure. I wouldn't submerge it, but we had this thing sitting in the rain for days, right?
Right.
Right, for days. And really good quality, flexible panel. We did clean up when we got back, we did clean up the panels before we, what in the world are you doing, Reagan? 4 panels, 25 watts per panel. With any flexible solar panel, you're not going to get the wattage that's rated at any solar panel really, unless you're in like some sort of laboratory conditions. Is Bear in there?
I think so, yeah.
We consistently got between.
That's Bear.
Oh.
Definitely. I thought it was a bunny at first.
We consistently got between like 45 and 70 watts would be the average that we got from this guy, which is a little bit less than we get with our fixed glass panel, but still much better than most flexible solar panels we've seen. We do have a fixed glass panel on the roof of the plated, and we got a little bit more juice out of that one, but that is also a much less convenient form factor That is a bowl for Mr. Abe. All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Rick's raw review of the GOALZERO trifecta of the Yeti 500. This is the new Yeti 500, not to be confused with the Yeti 500X. And the GOALZERO Alta 50 electric fridge freezer and the Nomad 100. I think this is one of the best Overland setups from one company for sure. We used it, like I said, for 2 weeks. We absolutely loved it. It was absolutely an awesome, a killer setup. We had this running in the truck, off the truck power during the day. At night, running off this. This was charging in the truck during the day. And then sometimes we would run this guy and plug it in here, and we'd be able to charge that. We just have so many different solutions, so many different possibilities with this setup. We are super duper happy. This is definitely going to be one of our staples in future trips for sure, as well as this guy. The form factor on this is so small. I could actually stuff this under my back seat and kind of forget about it. It's that small compared to others. So very cool, very happy. 2 thumbs up, GOALZERO. Only big complaint is software. Get the software issue fixed for the app so that we don't have any issues with the fridge connectivity. It would be nice to always get the ability to connect to the fridge while from the phone. So super duper happy. Highly recommend these. Definitely check them out. Discount in the below. Reggie, say below. Okay, cool. 10 seconds it says.